Hey, what's going on, Mario?
Hey, I'm doing fine. What about you?
Oh, I'm doing okay.
Did you just begin the meeting?
Yeah,
Oh, okay.
don't worry, you didn't miss anything.
Oh, people are starting to join. Okay,
Yeah, just
okay.
trying to pour in.
Hi, everybody.
Hey, shalom.
Hi, shalom.
How's it going?
It's going. How you feeling?
Feeling great.
All right on, man.
Nice. A full house tonight, I can see.
Oh, I know a lot of new people have been getting more involved as time goes on, and we had people sign up for the writers' room on Sunday, so that's promising.
Oh, I need to get on that.
Yeah, we had a submission this afternoon. I saw just one scene, so by Sunday, I guess we'll go over everybody's work, and the following Sunday we'll review it.
Yeah, I don't know what I'll be doing this Sunday. I had a full plate, but I'm gonna get on it, man.
No worries. Like I still got to pick a scene from something I'm working on just to kind of be a part of the process.
Well, what are you leaning towards?
Around 4
I mean,
o'clock.
is it already established project, or are you gonna create something?
You know what? I'll start with something original or something new. Everything else is for the most part established. And I only have one good scene from one movie called Heart and Soul. It's a story about the Korean War. But I'd like to get everybody's feedback and then share what direction I'm going to go in.
That sounds like an epic.
Like in my head, it's amazing. Like, you know, but aren't all movies amazing in our heads?
Yeah. Yeah, it's making it a reality. That's the challenge.
Yeah. Hence why we all show up.
Yeah, it all starts from somewhere.
Yeah.
I had a great conversation with Malcolm Boyd. You know, we rejuvenate each other, you know, because it's like sometimes you lose momentum, but then, you know, you see somebody else they're going forward, and that, you know, that gets you back on track.
Sure.
You know?
I'll actually, if I can, I'll pull up the writer's room link and I'll share it in the chat.
Cool. I feel like I should have a glass of wine with these meetings. I don't know. I messed up. I have one next time.
I drank on St. Patty's Day, but I haven't really, ever since I got my puppy, I just like laid off the booze.
Yeah. I think
Hey,
that was
Shalom.
Hey, Malcolm.
Hey, what's going on, man?
Good to see you.
How is everyone doing? My name is Malcolm Boyd. I guess I just put a request in to join the group on Facebook. Shalom had introduced me to you guys. I'm over here in Long Island City. I don't know how to change my name at the bottom. It says owner 83844 something or other, but my name's Malcolm Boyd anyway. Interested in finding out what's going on here. I'm writer director. I don't know if Shalom told you about the television series that we're doing. Shalom is a principal character in it. He's killing the role, by the way.
Right on, man.
We're up to what, episode 3 now?
Filming episode 3.
Yeah, we're in the process of filming episode 3.
Matter of fact, premiere at the Kaufman.
Huh?
Had the premiere at the Kaufman.
Oh, yeah. We did a screening at Kaufman Historia Studios in the Zucker Theater there on December 17th. And I guess I'm like everybody else, just trying to connect with people and see what type of resources are out there that could help my project along, as well as see if I can't help somebody, because like I told Shalom earlier, if I win, you win, and if you win, I win, and vice versa, so forth and so on. You know,
Facts.
at the end of the day, if you don't do anything but tell me, hey, you got the booger hanging out your nose, you did help.
I guess it's a good time to have everybody introduce themselves. What we usually do, we go around the horn one at a time. We introduce ourselves, let everybody know who they are, what they do, maybe how they heard about the club, tell a good story or a good joke. And normally I kick us off, just kind of set the tone. If you do want to introduce yourself, push the button to raise your hand. So that way somebody in the room, in the chat, after they go, they'll choose you to go next. So I'll kick us off. How's it going, everybody? My name's Phil Capadora. I'm the founder of the Astoria Filmmakers Club. It started in August of 2019, and it literally was just a way for people in the industry to show up, come to the table, have dinner, drink a beer, start shaking some hands, and start meeting local filmmakers in the community. And it caught on pretty quickly. In Astoria, Queens, we got the most people in the industry who work in the industry living in Astoria. And since that time, we've grown to over 800 members on Facebook. And once we incorporated, the pandemic happened, but here we are holding strong. We actually were also at the Zucker Theater this year. We premiered the first inaugural Triborough Film Festival, which is a Battle of the Boroughs film festival exclusive for New York City. If you live here, if you were born here, or the story is about New York City, then it qualifies for the film festival. And following the festival, we did the inaugural Astor Award ceremony. My ultimate goal for the Astoria Filmmakers Club is to become the #1 crowdfunding resource on planet Earth for the entire independent film market. For the last couple weeks, it really hit me hard on the kind of content that's being produced and shown in movies, movie theaters, citywide, nationwide, worldwide. And, it really got me thinking on the potential of the club, where what if we actually put the power into the people's hands and they get to choose or have a little bit of influence on the type of movies they personally do want to see and have made. So one of our plans is to actually convert the scripts we're working on into a podcast play presentation, put it on a little theatrical space. And if people do want to see that movie, vaudeville style, start throwing nickels and dimes. And once we hit our budget, project greenlight, and members of the AFC will get right to work. And we're going to start producing things in-house. I don't really have a good joke. And my puppy is kind of screaming. That was Snow. She's only 11 weeks old. I'm sure she'll make another special appearance before the meeting is adjourned. And let's see, the people who got their hands raised. I'm going to call on Melissa.
Okay.
Go for it.
Hi. Let me lower my hand. I'm Melissa, and I joined the club. I'm not a filmmaker, but I got an invitation to come to a meeting from Phil maybe 2 months ago, because I had joined backstage and I was looking for voiceover, background extra, and small role in film opportunities. So it's been pretty cool to come to the meetings and just listen to everyone. I've learned some things. Mario gave me a great opportunity to be a voice on his project, and I learned a little bit about the Marvel world, which I didn't know anything about. And I do not this week have a good story. I like to wait till I have something really good. So I don't have a story this week. Oh, I will share this. I did get an opportunity to, it got canceled last weekend, but to have a little, very small role in the last episode of a upcoming, should be on TV series. And, lady stranded on the side of the road, but I got the script, and lady stranded on the side of the road gets to whack the guy that comes to my aid with the hood of the car and take his gun. So I'm hoping this will help counter my grandmother image that I'm developing. Maybe I can be a badass grandmother. So that's all I got this evening, and I'll call on Evans.
Hey, everybody. Good to see you all again. Good to be back. Let me lower my hand there. There we go. I was actually doing some reading online today about Shakespeare, and there's a big argument as to how he died. A lot of people think he died of tuberculosis. And there's a huge group out there that is absolutely no, definitely not. So the argument is basically TB or not TB.
Yeah.
And that's the quality of my humor right there. It doesn't get any better. Ask anybody. There you are. Retired military, cancer survivor, yay. And I had to have a thing removed from the side of my head back here. I'm supposed to keep it covered so that it doesn't weep so much. That's why I'm wearing the thing. And I hate it. Can't wait for it to heal up and get out of there. But yeah, I'm an actor now. I graduated from 2-year conservatory. Reaching out to as many people as I possibly can to do as much work as I possibly can. Right now, my survival job is at Lifetime Fitness Sky down in Manhattan. Love working there. It is a great, it's a country club for fitness enthusiasts, and they have a crap ton of different programs and stuff like that. Really good stuff. Tonight I have class at, well, in a couple of hours with Steven Schneider, PBS Pitbull Schneider, and he is in LA. I'm training with him right now. Great guy. If anybody needs an instructor or needs a coach, I highly, highly, highly recommend him. Okay, from there, I'm going to call on Malcolm.
Good evening. I kind of already introduced myself, but I'll go over it again. I was invited to this group through Shalom O'Neill. I live here in Queens. I'm from San Francisco by way of Colorado. I've been here 5 years. New York's been good to me. I got my SAG card since I've been here. I published 3 books since I've been here. We turned my film into we turned my book into a screenplay, then we shot it ourselves and we won 4 film festivals. What joke do I have? Every joke I have will get me thrown out this real quick, so I'll just let that be the joke.
Welcome, Malcolm.
Thank you. Oh, by the way, I'm also looking for people to collaborate with because I'm presently shooting this project and it's getting bigger than one person can manage. I'm financing out my own pocket and I need sound people, makeup people, PAs. I need actors. I need extras. Let's talk.
We know people, so we'll see. We'll definitely see what we can do. All righty then. Don't forget, if you haven't.
I'm calling on. Is that Mario?
Mm-hmm.
Calling on Mario.
Thank you, Malcolm. I'm Mario Duran Araujo. My main passion is directing, but I also know how to write and act. Sometimes you have to do more than one thing, so that's why I'm studying how to write, act, and everything. So I really love the cinema, and I'm currently working like a freelance, but my main project right now is a passion project about Black Panther, and that's the one that Melissa is helping me with, and it's shaping up very great. I have 20 minutes already edited, so I think there's still a month to go to editing, but it feels very good that I'm finally finishing that project. You're going to hear about that project for a few weeks because I'm working very hard to get to a very great quality. I'm doing that in stop motion animation, so it's going to look very cool. I have 7 years of experience in that regard, so I really love that. I met the Astoria Film Club because of Film Freeway, and I'm currently in Mexico City, but we can still collaborate if anybody wants, just like Melissa and I. And my joke is, what has four wheels and flies?
Oh.
A garbage truck.
Right.
This is a very bad joke, but I had to get a joke done. So the next one,
That's fine. It's
please.
a great joke.
Uh,
Thank you,
Right.
Evans. So what about Bruce, please?
okay. Hello, everyone. Bruce Lipsky here. Born in Queens, New York. I live in Long Island right now. I'm retired from JP Morgan Chase. I worked there a long time. I'll be turning 68 years old on my next birthday. My background more is stand-up comedy, which I got into about 3-4 years ago. But I was fortunate enough last year to get into some acting. As some of you people already know, I've said this before. I wound up getting a nice part in a film called Dragon Eats Eagle, which is currently on Amazon Prime and Tubi. I actually had 21 lines of speaking, which shocked me because I had no acting experience. I've done some voiceover work and some cartoons and other things, and I just finished another project on a voiceover called Good Sleep. And that should be coming on Amazon Audio. I believe it's Amazon Audio. That's what it is. And I'm looking for opportunities. I've been also fortunate to do some background work. I did a lot with Mrs. Maisel. And hopefully you'll see my beautiful face there this new season starts. And I'm looking for any opportunities, whether it's the acting, voiceover, background, writing, comedy, whatever it may be. And I'm also here to help anybody that I can help. So please feel free to contact me, and hopefully we can do a lot of good things together. And I appreciate everything that Phil has put us together here. And I haven't been here in the last few weeks because I had some live gigs, but hopefully I'll be back and forth here depending on what's going on in my life. And an old joke, how do you get herpes of the eye? By looking for love in all the wrong places.
Oh,
All right, whose hand is still up over here? I don't take credit for writing that, I'll tell you that. Shalom, that you? Have your hand up still?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Thank you. Thank you very much. Hi, everybody. My name is Shalom. I'm an actor, writer, stand-up comedian. Been with the group since December. I love hanging out with everybody every time. Sometimes I forget we're supposed to be networking. But yeah, man, it's just been a blast. And I've been writing my ass off. Started my 6th screenplay this week, about halfway done, looking to do something with that. Malcolm gave me my first role in a feature, and it was a series now, but he gave me my first role, and I'm just really grateful for that. Really let me grow as a performer, and I'm just looking to grow some more and do what I love. As far as a joke, okay, I got one. A big scary clown is walking a little boy deep into the woods, and it's dark and it's creepy and all kinds of strange noises. So the little boy looks up at the clown and he says, "I'm scared." And the clown says, "You're scared. I'm the one who got to walk back alone."
I like it.
That's good.
That's borderline, that's borderline.
That's
Wow.
dark but funny. Dark
Yeah.
but funny. Good one. Good one.
Thank you.
Well, we
That's
got a
my
couple-
style.
Yeah, I get it. It was a good joke.
Thanks.
That's what it's called a joke. Still to go, we got Remy, we got Pharrell, and we got Gustav. If you guys want to introduce yourselves, take the liberty to do so, or forever hold your peace.
Sure, I guess I'll do a quick intro. So hi, I'm Remy. Great to see a mix of old and new faces tonight. I'm project manager for the Astoria Filmmakers Club, which is generally a catch-all for whatever I can do to make Phil's life easier, whether it be getting sponsors for the first Triborough Film Fest or getting volunteers for the festival by posting on various Facebook groups, and trying my best to be kind of a face of the organization. I found out about the club because about a year ago, I did a talk about green filmmaking with a focus primarily on catering, because that's really the budget that we had for indie film I worked on last year that is coming out, I think, in summer. This summer, we got distribution, which I'm very excited about. And Phil was kind enough to promote the talk on Earth and Me, which, shout out to Earth and Me. They're a great zero waste store in Astoria. They do online delivery or online ordering in their 2 stores in person. And I shook Phil's hand in person as a thank you for signal boosting, and I've been involved ever since.
Thank you. And you're welcome. All righty. Well, we got Gustav and we got Pharrell. You guys want to introduce yourselves? Oh, yeah, maybe not. I know we just got another guy just came in. His name's Alex. We spoke earlier today momentarily because he joined the mailing list. And I'm like, what you want to get into? He gave me a little shindig, but I'll let him introduce himself because he knows himself better than I do. Welcome, Alex. We're just about to wrap up saying hello, introducing ourselves. So if you'd like, why don't you take a moment?
Well, okay, it seems like you can hear me. I was testing my mic earlier and it didn't seem like it was picking up anything, but you can hear me, right?
Yeah.
Okay, cool. Hey, what's up? I'm Alex. Thank you for the intro. Yeah, I'm been living in Astoria since like 2016, and I love it. Great food, great people. I work at Warner Media Discovery, and I've been just looking for places to go on set. You know, like, actually it's like ironic that I work, you know, there and just not like on set. It's like more of a corporate job that I work now. And yeah, I just wanted to get back on my feet and actually just meet new people as well. So this seems like the perfect place.
Has anybody benefited from the club as far as meeting new people?
Yeah.
Everyone? Okay.
Yeah,
Wow.
everybody.
All right. Well, Alex, I think you came to the right spot. What's it like working at what'd you say it was? Discover?
I was Warner Media Discovery. It's a mouthful because it's like a recent merger, but it's like yeah, they have like a lot of brands under their name, like HBO, like CNN, like Warner Brothers. Yeah, and it's like, yeah, I work at the Hudson Yards. I work with archive, you know, assets, you know, like, so some of the HBO shows you might see on the Max platform, I just put it into a database and ship out. So yeah, I'm on the back end, like the back end of filmmaking right now. So I'd like to get back on the front at some point.
Oh, right on. That actually sounds pretty cool. That's what, at the Navy Yards and at what was it? Not Silver Cup Studios, right? Hudson Yards.
No, Hudson Yards. Yeah, I just came back from work recently. Yeah, it's Hudson Yards.
Is that Manhattan?
Yeah, Manhattan. Yeah.
Was that like Pier 81 or 41?
Oh, not sure. I don't think it's by the piers, but it's like west of Midtown. Not
Yeah.
sure, like the proximity to the piers.
Is it right off that new station where they built the 7?
Yes. Yeah, that's where I get off. Yeah.
I was there one time. I think it must have been in 2000. I want to say 15, but we filmed Sully over there.
Oh wow. Tom Hanks. Wait, no, the Tom Hanks movie?
The real life story, but yeah, Tom Hanks was in it.
Oh my God. Oh,
Oh, that was a trip. I got to meet Mimi Siku from Jungle to Jungle. He's a cool dude. And I didn't walk up to him, but no, like Clint Eastwood was right there. And I'm like,
Wow.
yeah,
Wow.
I could see the
That's
white of his
cool.
eyes. And it's just like, I'm not talking, I'm like, I wasn't speechless. It was a very cold, shitty day, but it's like, I can't walk up to this guy. No way.
You met Clint Eastwood and you didn't say what's up?
I'm not, bro, I'm trying to keep it professional. I was just,
I know, but it's Clint Eastwood. That's do you feel lucky or do you punk? You know?
that's the last thing I'm gonna do because I was like, when we were first doing it was just a background gig and I didn't even know it at the time, but
Right.
I had to submit my resume, my headshot, and they told me to send a candid video shot because the director has to go through the selections of everybody individually. I'm like, all right. And then I get there and the director happened to be Clint Eastwood. I'm like, oh shit, this is awesome. Funny story. My plane seat was actually in the exact spot where the camera was set up. So they had to pull the seat out along with me in the plane scene. So I'm like, fuck, damn it.
Wow.
Yeah, that was fun. But no, that was another experience. And I'm sure if people look at my IMDb and they see I was on all these sets, that was an experience getting to just be in the same space as the guy. The cops had no problem walking right up to him and saying hi, like the real cops, not the fake cops. They just walked right up to him and introduced themselves.
yeah, he doesn't seem like a very approachable. He seems like a pretty intimidating guy, at least from like the movie.
The guy was wearing like I remember shiny shoes for the most part. Right now, actually, no. He wasn't the one wearing shiny shoes. He was Clint Eastwood was wearing sneakers, and I think he was wearing khakis, and he kind of had like his like hair kind of slicked back. And he's like tired. And he's like, we're gonna go out on the boat. And he had on this like flannel shirt, and it was kind of windy, but like even for like a big friggin' dude, he was like he must have got thick skin because he didn't look cold, but he looked underdressed. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
He's a hell of a director. I think I know him more for his directing work than almost his acting. Have you ever saw Mystic River?
Oh, yeah.
That was a hell of a movie. It was Sean Penn, Tim Robbins. It was depressing as hell, but it was a great movie.
See his latest, The Mule. Is that one? Yeah.
Oh, that was
I
awesome.
haven't seen that yet. I heard it was great.
Yeah, he's just he's just a gardener, and he kind of just got a side gig.
Hmm.
Yeah, he has a reputation of being 1 or 2 takes and that's it. I do a lot of BG work and day player work, and I work with Scorsese. I work with Ben Stiller. Denzel Washington's a director on this Jordan, Justice for Jordan. And Ben Stiller has a nickname. They call him 1,000 Take Ben.
Oh my God.
And seriously, and I work with him on Escape Dannemore. And we shot from about 5 in the morning till 7 in the evening upstate at the Clinton Correctional Facility out in the cold. The Clinton Correctional Facility is like only a few miles from the Canadian border. It was so cold, things were clicking together on me, if you know what I mean. And that's where I heard the name 1,000 Take Ben. He does it so many times, a lot of crew members are like, golly, again. But then he's doing something called Severance now. I just worked with him right before Christmas.
Look that up.
The code name is Cold Harbor, but it's called Severance. And
show.
I watched him. He must have did about 25 takes. And I watched the scene go up where the actors seemed to get kind of tired and frustrated and they lost their energy. And he kept saying, going again, going again, going again, going again, going again. And the scene started taking off again, but it was so much richer. It's really weird to watch a scene transform when you just do it over and over and over to the point where you're almost fatigued, but then you work through that. And there's something that comes out to actors that is really amazing to see.
It probably becomes like second nature by that point.
It's his style is very time consuming and extremely expensive. Because I mean, when we're upstate, we shot from sun up to sundown and we only did 2 scenes. Just to take over and over and over again. But me personally, I really think he's underrated as a director. He really knows how to get the best out of his performance. I mean, I was really impressed.
I didn't
Underappreciated,
even know he directed.
you know?
Huh?
So I didn't even know Ben Stiller directed.
Oh yeah, he did the Escape Down the More. He does a lot of stuff.
You ever see him in Heavyweights back in the early 90s?
What's that?
Yeah, you know, a lot of this because I always looked at him as kind of this, you know, comedic kind of slapstick type comedy, almost sophomoric type comedy. So when I found out he was directing, I was like, eh. But being on set with him and watching his process, and like I said, the first time I didn't appreciate it for what it was because we was out in the cold and I just wanted to get it over with. But this last time I really, because I'm directing myself now, so I really paid attention to what he's doing. I'm like, it's kind of like, wow, okay, all right. He
Well,
really drives you.
What was your takeaway, like director to director, watching him work?
Because there's so many variables when you're on set. On my set, when I'm directing, I'm fairly new to it, so I guess I tend to, the word escapes me right now, but instead of digging in and getting what I want from my performers, I tend to like, you know, all right, how's everybody feel? And it's still in the back of my mind, I'm like, I still want more, but we've done it a few times, we've done it 5 times, maybe 6 times. Everybody seems to be happy, let's move on.
Right.
Working with him, there's no more of that. We're gonna go until, as a director, I see what I'm looking for, or some semblance of it, you know. Sometimes you're not gonna get what you want. We just recently shot underneath the LIE. It was in, you know Khan, Salone. This guy's he's Method.
Yeah.
So he even warned me before we shot this. He said, watch me because I go there sometimes, and he does. So the scene is he knocks this girl around, he talks crap to her, and he asks her, if anybody asks you what happened to you, what are you gonna say? Because he bruised her up. She's supposed to start crying and says, I hope your mother burns in hell. Then he chokes her and he says, no, what are you gonna say? And then she cries, I don't know who it is. He didn't speak English. He laughs and walks away. That's the scene. We do it a few times. About the 4th take, I didn't know she was Method too. So I could feel the intensity, but I didn't quite understand what was going on. He does what he does. He grabs her by the face. If anybody asks you what happened to you, what are you going to say? She spits on the ground and says, screw you. You know, that's not the word she used. So in character, he says, what? You're going to spit on me? And she just spits one right in his face. Foul. I'm like, oh. And my cameraman looks at me, I'm like, oh, shit. So in character, he wipes it and he just grabs her by the throat. He's squeezing the hell out of her. They're in character, but both of them are gone. They're on another level. I yelled cut. And they both looked at me like, why'd you stop us? I said, because you two are about to kill one another. I mean, you know, I don't know if you've been reading the paper, but there's a lot of consequences behind things going on in set. And I'm the one responsible for this. But as far as directing goes, you have to get a style. You have to get something that, what I like to do, because I write a lot of the stuff and I know what the story is, there's nothing more amazing to me than see and hand a script to someone and watch you give me your interpretation of the character.
Mm-hmm.
You'll do stuff and say stuff I wrote this and I didn't see that coming. Where'd that come from? But what I've become as a director is, if I'm watching a scene and I need more of this, less of that, I'm making adjustments, I'm pulling switches and turning knobs, good. But there comes a point where the scene starts to come to life and it starts to entertain me. I'm no longer looking as a director, I'm looking as an audience member. And that's what I strive for. I want my actors in a scene to come to life, to push me back in my seat where I'm ready to grab the popcorn. You know, like, oh boy, what happens next? It happens every now and then, it doesn't happen all the time. Shalom with Jose Torres. Jose Torres takes me there every time. He's so flipping good.
He's so, I was scared of him because he was that fucking evil crime boss. He really was. He just didn't give a shit.
He took that role and put it on like a suit jacket.
Yeah. Like,
Oh,
man,
my goodness.
like, man, the main character in the film, in the series is called Man Walker. He's a slick, you know, he's a big dude.
I'm still looking for more out of him. I'm still looking for more. He hasn't reached that summit yet. I know he has. It's coming though.
Well, he has you know this being recorded, right? But he has the presence. Man has Blake, the actor is James Blake Carrington, and he has the presence.
Yes, he does.
Yeah, actually, when I wrote Bottom Feeders, I wrote the character of Jack with him in mind, because he could pull it off. So I was thinking about, I was like, and he got the Stubble for it. The last name, the character's name is Jack Stubble. But yeah, but watching him act with Jose, like Jose is like, you can see the intimidation from Jose, like that. Even was like, hey man, these guys could kill me right now. That scene in the alley. It's like, dude, you put together a hell of a cast, and I don't know how I got hired, but thank you.
No, you know what? You a director's dream, because I don't know if you notice or not, but the little pinches, the little suggestions I make, the little twist of the knob, you respond to them.
Oh,
if I want more, you give me more. If I want less, you give me less. You really do respond well. I don't have to whip you and beat you. Some people I practically have to pull out the cattle prod. I'm not going to say any names. But anyway, getting back, stop making it a personal conversation between two of us. Maybe in the near future, we could share the link. Everybody here can watch episode 1, the pilot episode. And it's called One Way and No Way Out. And we won 4 film festivals. We won San Francisco, Short, Paris International, Niagara Falls, Short, and Phoenix. We won 2 best pilots, 1 best episodic, and 1 for best cast. And we're in the running at about 4 more. We haven't heard back from.
Where'd you film it?
We've shot in Queens. We've shot in the Lower East Side. Basically, Queens and Lower East Side is the majority of it.
It qualifies for the tri-borough.
And I didn't even know about the tri-borough. And we're shooting on the 15th. We're shooting right over here. You know where Silver Cup East is, right on the other side of LIE?
Right down the block from over here.
Yeah.
It's not far from Silver Cup.
No, not the big Silver Cup. Not the big Silver Cup. There's another Silver Cup right off the LIE, off of Greenpoint.
Yeah. Yeah, it's got a blue.
There's a warehouse right across the street from it. We're shooting there on the 15th and the 16th.
Okay.
That's the big one. We're gonna drive the van through the garage door, and I got squid packs, blood jumping off the people.
Yo, let's go. This already just this sounds fun. I just want to show up and watch.
Hey, that's no problem, man. That's no problem. But I warn you now, if you show up, I'm liable to put you to work.
Well, some of the teachers and public community influencers who work for like President Gustavo's office, Queen's presidential spot. They got a lot of kids who they're trying to push to actually get experience on set before, and just to watch and view and just be a part of the atmosphere. We don't exactly have an official Big Brother system, but once we get rolling, I gave them a heads up that once we start doing things,
without a doubt, what I did was because I started my own production company. It's called 3-Legged Elephant Productions, and I went and got an LLC. So I went to a Hunters College and York College and went to their film departments and got a couple of interns. The one young lady, I don't know why she's doing film. She's about as enthusiastic as a brick. And we have another intern, but I don't know why they sent this one, because she's a sociology major. She's not even in the film.
Hmm.
Because when you want to be part of it, okay, because they get extra credits. So always, first thing I ask is, okay, what are your strong points? Are you in the editing? You're in the acting, camera, what? And she says, well, I'm a sociology major. I don't know anything about any of it. But I was happy to have the extra hands. So, we welcomed her. But it would really help to have people there that at least have an interest in it. You know what I mean?
Sure.
That puts us ahead of the game, because if you ask them to do something, they might know a little bit about it. Number one, and number two, they're going to retain it.
Yeah.
If I ask you to hold a boom, you show them, because holding a boom really sucks over your head for all day long. But somebody that knows anything about it will know to be careful with it, not to bump anything, and they're willing to learn, because that's what the direction they're trying to go with their life.
Did you mention what she wants to do with sociology major? Like what? Like
Not really, because like I said, I'm juggling 19 balls at once. So I get the information, process it, and here, well, you want to do this here, this is what I need you to do. You think you can do this? Let's go forward,
That could probably help her with marketing, because the more I've been speaking to a couple of producers lately, and I noticed that you got to be really social, and
She was a girl that was taking the tickets at the door when we did the screening at Kaufman's Astoria. Remember when we first come in, she was at the table? That was the intern.
Oh yeah, that was her?
Yeah, that was the intern, yeah.
Oh, awesome. So she's just, all over.
Hey, like I said, you show up, you might get put to work.
Nice.
how long is the pilot?
The pilot, okay, this is what I did. Each episode is 30 minutes, but for the screening, I put episode 1 and episode 2 together, which came out to an hour, but it worked together so well. I'm thinking about starting to make the episodes an hour, but for now, they're still half an hour.
How many you got like lined up? How many you want to do?
I talked to a guy at Film Hub. Film Hub is kind of a brokerage house that helps filmmakers, smaller filmmakers line up with some of these streaming platforms, help you get paid. I sent episode 1 to them, they really like it. They told me to bring them 6 to 8 episodes if they get me a deal. I'm on episode 3 right now. Like I said, it's really expensive and stressful for one person to do everything, which I'm doing, which has slowed the process down quite a bit.
Turned out good, yeah.
So what I'm planning on doing is, when we're done with episode 3, I'm gonna go ahead and put 1, 2, and 3 on Tubi TV, because Tubi is an AVOD. That's the acronym for Advertisement Video on Demand. If you do decent numbers on AVOD, you get paid because Tubi runs commercials, so you get paid by the commercials. So if you do small numbers, you'll get Joe's Mortuary and Crab Shack commercials. If you do decent numbers, you'll get Coca-Cola, Chevrolet, Tide soap, and the money goes up, which will help go back to the production. And you also with Tubi, you'll find out just how popular we are or are not.
Sure.
I've been
So far, we're
interested
doing
in
pretty
those.
good, though. Huh?
I've been interested in those Tubi platforms and AVOD platforms. I believe another acronym for it is called fast channels, as in like they're free on most. Sometimes they're on TVs already. Like I have a Roku TV right now, and it comes pre-downloaded with Tubi and maybe some other AVOD services. But is it pretty easy to just put your films like on Tubi, or do you have to have like some contract?
No, you have a contract with it because you're getting paid. Oh, let me fix this thing, keeps freaking out on me. You get paid, you have a contract, because what is happening now is the industry's going through this. When COVID hit, the theaters went down the toilets, of course. And the streaming platforms blew up. But now people are starting to head back to the theaters and the streaming platforms. If you haven't noticed, there's a gazillion streaming platforms now. I mean, everybody's on the streaming platform. So what's happening is the demand is getting bigger than can be. I mean, there's more streaming platforms can be supported. So, of course, the bigger ones are going to eat the smaller ones in the long run. But what's also happening is like Tubi TV. I mean, not Tubi, I'm sorry, Netflix. If you have decent numbers on the smaller platforms, the bigger ones will come buy your project from Tubi. There's several on Netflix that have been bought. They bought them from Tubi, Crackle, and Pluto. So that's another way, because Netflix has become so big. Trying to get your project on Netflix is almost like going to NBC, CBS, or ABC. You know, if you don't know somebody or you aren't somebody, then you can't even get an audience with them.
It was only two short or 3 short years ago.
Yeah.
Where Netflix was, you know, they were the ones streaming Disney Marvel content, and then Disney Plus came out, and you know, they're still enormous, but yeah, definitely see what you mean. They're probably what, number 1 in streaming platforms?
Easily. They, you know, they run the show. They're building a $800 million studio right over here in New Jersey. They just broke ground on.
Wow.
Yep.
When that start?
They broke ground on it a little bit more than a month ago. There's 2 big, humongous studios going up over in Jersey because Jersey got smart. Jersey gave the studios a tax break.
30%, 40%.
So they're trying to suck all the work from New York over there. The only problem with New York is everything here is so expensive. I mean, just to get a permit to block a street, it's just so god awful high, you know. So if you're trying to do a project, you know, and you're looking at your numbers, it makes more sense to do it in Jersey than it does in New York.
I heard that there's a virtual production studio being built by Adorama or Apple Cine at some point. And I think like some director is actually spearheading it. So is there just as many studios being built here, or is it just more so like just outside of New York strictly?
Well, you know, Scorsese and what's it called? It just went in together. They're building this big studio.
Yeah,
I think that's the one I'm referring to as well. Yeah.
Yeah, it's over here in New York. De Niro.
Is De Niro part of that too? Because I heard
De Niro and Scorsese. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I heard about that.
I think it's like, you mean the Mayflower Studio or something like that?
Oh God, I don't know what they're naming it. It's almost complete now. It's of course it's over here somewhere in his neighborhood because he's associated with the film festival.
I think I remember hearing that they were accepting applications for like projects or something like if you had a project, they were accepting submissions. I think I remember hearing something like that.
That would be interesting because there's so many people with so many projects. I mean, you know, if they're doing that, then hey.
But it was
like the front door.
But like a story of filmmakers, it was like it has to be specific to New York.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, this is definitely a New York story. But yeah, that's about to load up. I have the unique. I did background on Scorsese's last thing, The Irishman. I think there's about 4 black dudes in it, and I'm one of them. When Jimmy Hoffa, the thing down in Florida, supposedly Jimmy Hoffa accepted the nomination to be the head of the Teamsters. They had a bunch of Teamsters in the audience. Yeah.
Solidarity, yeah.
I was one of them. Yeah, exactly. I was one of them.
Wow.
That was an okay movie. It was an okay movie.
Yeah. It was god awful long,
Yeah, but that's all right. That's all right. I mean, it's the way he was, his Pacino's accent though, kind of got a little grating. Yeah, but
You know, the funny
the
part
ultimate
about
backstabbing. Yeah.
the funny thing about Pacino is every take Pacino did, he did different.
Mm-hmm.
And I mean, everything he said was different. There was no continuity to it, but he's Pacino, so he can get away with it.
So he went off script on his
Oh
own.
God, yeah, because I did BG on Joe Paterno's story. We played Joe Paterno. We shot up here in the Bronx, and it was a scene where I was a news reporter. We come to his house, and we're asking him about the allegations about Stefanski or whatever his name was, that was molesting the players and kids. And he was trying to like play it off. Every take he say something different. All of it was good, but I'm
Yeah.
like, damn, how did you get away with that?
Must have a
Oh,
good
geez.
editor.
Yeah, it gives the editor a lot to work
Yeah.
with. Yeah.
Yeah.
Interesting. You know, that bodes well, all these new facilities being built because they need content.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. And the new
Or-
thing in the industry is a binge watch. That's the thing. Everybody binge watches now.
Oh, binge watch. So that means pilots for like 60-minute pilots, that kind of thing.
What not basically, if that's why everything's turning episodic now, because people they'll come home and they'll sit down, they'll turn on a TV show, and because it's video on demand, you can watch as many episodes you want to. It's a thing now. People sit and watch till their eyes are spinning in circles because they've watched like 9 hours of one show.
Right.
But it's a thing though. Everybody gets into it.
But the content has to be good enough to warrant that. I remember
Oh
when I
God,
first,
yes. Oh
Yeah.
God, yes.
I remember
It
when I
doesn't
first
take but
discovered-
15 minutes.
I gotta go. Got class tonight. I'll see you all next week. Have fun. Do me a favor, Malcolm.
Yeah.
Take a look at my website, see if there's anything there that you can use. I'd be happy to work with you.
How do I put my email up here?
My
Chat
website,
feature.
if you look in the chat,
Yeah, I'm putting my email up. Anybody send me a clip or anything? Let me see.
Yeah,
I
guys.
think let me see.
Social media. Go ahead. if you have
I goofed
social
up. It should be malcoboyd@gmail.com, not to.com.
Malcolm, I didn't get any. Yeah, nothing popped up in the chat, Malcolm.
Huh?
let me see if I could, if I could probably put it in. Let me see. Malcolm Boyd at Gmail, right?
No, Malco. Malco.
Send it to Phil. Phil can send it to me, or you can just go right through my website. The website's in the chat. Okay.
Yeah, and anybody else, if you got any talent, anything you do, let's talk. I'm serious.
Yeah, I'm gonna put my Vimeo up in the chat. I definitely want to work with you guys any way possible. My availability is limited because I I do have a full-time job, but I can make time for anything.
We tend to shoot on the weekends just because of that very reason. Everybody
That's
has
perfect.
to keep food in the refrigerator and roof over here. So that tends to be how that works. But a full-time job, forget about it. Nobody needs that.
Who needs it?
Yeah, who needs it?
I've been running on full-time jobs since 2015, and it's a different kind of exhausting. As in, it's not the same kind of exhausting as staying on your feet, on a set, but it's kind of mentally draining, just sitting and like looking at a computer screen. It's very similar to editing, just I do like a lot of QC work, like quality control. And so I have to watch like the same version of one show probably several times. And that's changed now that there's like software to kind of expedite that. But just typing into spreadsheets, just typing a lot of emails, it's really drab. So I do want to get back. I did do camera assistant work. I'm really interested in the camera department. So if I were to work with any of you, I'd probably prefer to be there, but I can go anywhere. I did do a summer workshop at the Main Media Workshop. I did a project for LIU, like one of their screenwriting programs. You know, they were trying to make some pilots for some like pretend shows. So I did some camera assistant work on that. So yeah, I've been itching to get, I can't say it enough. I've been itching to get back on set, man.
Yeah, well, come on out, check us out. This is we're doing the 2-camera setup on the 15th.
Ooh, on the 15th.
Yeah, which is a Saturday. We're doing the 15th and the 16th. But 15th, we're gonna do the meat, pretty much the meat, you know, get all the heavy lifting done. You know, 16th, we just have like some B-roll and little extra crap to do. But
Welcome.
yeah,
I'm sorry
man.
to interrupt. I just sent you a text. Let me know if you got it, please.
Yes, I did.
Okay. Yes, I'm yeah, you know.
Okay. I just put it up on the screen again the right way.
Okay.
I'll send it to you.
Oh, there we go.
You got it?
I just discovered something. Don't mind me.
Awesome. Yeah, I would have butchered that. Thank you. I'm sharing it now.
All right, cool. Well, yeah, you know, because I made it episodic. I told Shalom this earlier. Because when you do a 2-hour film or whatever it may be, an hour, you get one shot to get it right. Once it's in the can, that's it. With episodic, there's been plenty of TV series that you watch the pilot or the first couple episodes, you're like, I don't know about this. But then you'll catch it down the road, you'll forget all about it, and you will be, oh, I remember this thing. There are about 6 episodes into it, and all of a sudden you're like, wow, this isn't too bad. It gives, episodic gives the actors a chance to grow into the characters, into the role. Also, it gives the crew, the directors, everybody a chance to grow and the writing to grow.
That's that's literally what I always hated about pilots, you know, because you don't really got much room to grow. They're kind of rolling the dice a little bit. And I remember it could have been almost 10 years ago when Marvelous Miss Maisel was first going into like pre-production, and they shot the pilot. But when they came on Amazon Prime, it was actually a contender against 4 other pilots. And what Amazon did at the time was they had the subscribers or Prime members vote for one of the 4 pilots that they want to see the entire season of.
Right.
Do you guys remember that?
Mm-mm.
Oh,
No, I don't.
yeah. And unfortunately, like the other 3 pilots just didn't go anywhere. But I think that's just the most unfortunate thing, you know, because they didn't really actually get to your point, develop it, you know, to actually tell the story. And the pilot, you know, it just seems the hardest, you know.
It's the roll of the dice. It's like winning the lottery, you know.
Really is.
You just got to keep on swinging and see if you get a hit or not. And I mean, doing it myself has really helped a lot in so many different ways. But we've done a lot of reshooting. God, when we first started, we damn near reshot every scene, which is, you know, it's beneficial to our resolve, you know. But at one point, you're like, wow, what are we doing? We have to reshoot everything. But the second time came out so much better than the first time. That also, like, you know what? I don't want to reshoot it, but I have to, because I'm not happy with what we have.
Yeah.
And what we've done deserves everything else to be to that level or above.
Mhm.
You know, just can't mail it in.
Right.
A lot of pressure.
But it's fun though. We have so much fun on set. Some days, man, I'm like a kid on Christmas morning. I mean, hours and hours, and we're tired and been on our feet. And I wouldn't trade places with anybody.
Wake up the next day, do it again.
Yes, without a doubt, man. Without a doubt. I found my thing in life. when they at my funeral, I'll be standing with slate board. Okay, great. Take two, put Malcolm away.
Should we make a note of that? Like if it's an open casket, turn it into a slate and then just slam it, take two.
Just click. cut. Let's redo that.
Keep slamming it up and down.
Hey, Malcolm, so you've been working with Shalom for a while. Like, how long have you guys been working together?
I met Shalom down at Theater for the New City, Mary Tierney. Wonderful old actress. God, she's so good. She has an actress workshop down there. And I saw Shalom in there and I'm like, I got this trick I do. I audition people without them knowing they're auditioning. I'll bring a script. I'll have a script with me and I'm like, hey man, you want to read this script with me? Or let me read the script for me. It's something I'm working on. And, when a person doesn't realize they're auditioning, all that pressure and nerves are gone and they can be themselves. Like I said, I do a lot of BG work, so I'll take scripts with me and we'll be in holding and I'll like see somebody, I like that person's look. And I'll, hey, why don't you want to read the scene with me? Something I'm working on. They're like, sure, I'll read it with you. And they're pouring their guts into it because they're having fun reading it, not realizing that I'm taking notes. All right, yeah. That's how I got Jose, my lead, my antagonist. And Jose's killing it. But that's how I got, matter of fact, that's how I got Blake. I asked Blake, hey, read the scene with me, bro. And he read it. I'm like, hey, how would you like to do that? Yeah, I could do that. I think I'm not serious. Would you like to play this role? And they're like, what? Yeah.
Well, where could we see your pilot?
I'm trying to think how I get the link to you because I have it on a private link on YouTube because we haven't released it per se, but I did the screening, so I don't mind sharing it. Send your email to my email at malcolmboy@gmail.com and I'll send you a link where you can watch it.
What was it?
Huh?
No, I was at this, what was that scene that, I don't know if we ever did that scene together, but the scene from Jackie Brown.
That's the one you and what's his name did it together. Mary's old boyfriend, what's his name?
Ronald.
Ron, man. You know, I tried to get Ron in this. Ron is so good. He says he's done. He doesn't want to do it anymore.
That's a damn thing.
A little jaded, huh?
No, he did TV. He did a lot of network TV back in the 70s and 80s. He's an older guy, and he's just like, man,
Right.
I'm cool. He
Retired.
just comes out into the actors workshop to do stuff just for the fun of it. But he's so good, man. God, he's good.
God, he started his own series in the late 80s. It was called The Street. And I watch it, man. It was like the writing is on point.
What was the name of it?
It was The Street. His partner, you guys, y'all will recognize his partner. He's a big time actor. I can't really. He does a lot of Law and Order, But man, that show, I was over the house a few times, and every episode was like a 10. Like the comedy was just crazy. They played two detectives, two New Jersey detectives, and the whole show was just about them walking the street, getting in and out of shit. It was crazy. But yeah, I still try to reel them in every now and then.
Yeah.
If
I haven't seen him up there in a while.
Yeah, I talk to them every once in a while. But we had fun over there at the theater. I want to go. I haven't been over there in a long time. I want to go back. I actually need to go back. We're gonna start filming again soon because I'm a little rusty.
Yeah.
But yeah, man. I'll talk to Ron, see if he can find something for him. If he changes his mind.
With the weather changing, I'm trying to find like a street carnival or something where we can do that scene I told you about. So you and the girl are walking together and you had a street car. You're like, basically it should be like where somewhere you can like throw balls at the milk bottles you're gonna win their
Right.
stuffed animal and all that. You're all lovey-dovey, then you wake up and realize you were just dreaming. But that's the location I need.
Mm.
Yeah, there's
There's
sometimes
a-
there's sometimes like a street carnival on Ditmars, Ditmars
yeah.
Boulevard between 31st and Steinway. They
Right.
might be popping up
Right.
when the weather, you know, gets a
Yeah,
bit
with the
better.
weather changing, that shouldn't be that tough of it.
They usually have a fair on Broadway as well.
It's underneath the 59th Street Bridge. Or no, I'm sorry, it's underneath the Triborough Bridge, the full carnival.
Oh, yeah? Do you know when they do it?
Yeah. All right, in Astoria Park.
I think it's
Okay.
every the beginning of every summer.
Yeah.
Well, we need to find out when that is, because we really need to get that done. Because like I said, Go ahead. She's coming back to New York. She's waiting on me to send her the script. As soon as I send the script, she's gonna come back. I'm trying to power through episode 3 so we can get on to episode 4. But like I said, it's so much.
It's just everyone's schedule, schedule, and once everyone freed up and you got everybody available, it's just we're ready to
What I
go.
just do? Oh, I just did something. Where'd everybody go?
The
Oh, there you are.
Right.
surprisingly though, it just seems a little staticky from your window.
Yeah, this
Anyone see John Wick?
I
haven't
want to
seen
see that eventually. Yeah, I love all 3 movies, so I'm gonna see that soon.
I love the first 2. The third one was good, but believe it or not, I thought it was just a little bit too much action.
Yeah, exactly. Every other scene was somebody getting blown away and like, where's the almost like some of those old slasher movies where everything was somebody getting cut up and chopped up. Give me a little bit of story. Let intensity build up before you just blow somebody to bits.
Yeah.
Yeah, actually, I loved the first 5 minutes of John Wick 3 the most. Like pretty much up to and including the library scene where he fights that guy with the book. That was
That was
crazy. But then the pacing is a bit weird and pretty congested. I think right after that was the motorcycle scene, where they're doing that whole like samurai sword and motorcycle through the tunnel scene. So yeah, and then somehow they end up in the Middle East and there's dogs attacking him. A lot going on in that movie.
Halle Berry making a comeback. Let's go.
Yeah. Holding it down. She's she's been making like some appearance. I think she had her own she was the lead actress in a movie when she was like about one of her kids being kidnapped. I think it was called Mother or something like that. I'm not
Was
sure.
this a recent film or this is?
I don't think it was recent. I just remembered a trailer from a while ago, so it's probably not recent.
He did do a lot of like, I don't know, like suspenseful horror type of movies for a minute.
I think you're right.
Who, Halle?
Yeah, she played a 911 dispatcher.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, she was in Moonfall. I didn't see that, but apparently she's in it.
She just finished something with Mark Wahlberg. I don't, God, what was the name of that? She's like her and Mark Wahlberg dated in high school, and then they went their own ways, and they met up again, and she's like an international spy.
Wow.
And she discovers that he's actually a hitman out to kill her. They just wrapped it, maybe about 4 months ago. They shot it over Jersey. Huh?
I know that she was in one of the James Bond movies in like the late 90s, and I think it was Tomorrow Never Dies or something.
Yeah. When she wore that yellow bikini. Yeah.
With Pierce Brosnan. Yeah, I remember that one.
I watched way too many movies. It's all a blur, but man, they're starting to come back little by little.
You can never watch too many movies. What do you mean? You're in the right place. Oh, she was in the Kingsman, apparently. The Kingsman Golden Circle.
The second one, right?
Yes, apparent. Oh yeah, she wasn't.
She must
Was
have-
the Pedro
wasn't-
Pascal in that one?
Yeah, he was. He played the cowboy.
I didn't get to see this.
Right.
The lasso, the cut your goddamn head off.
Yeah.
She's kind of method too. So I did
Yeah,
BG work. I did BG work on Bruised, where she was a boxer
hmm
trying to raise her kid. I was in the scene where she's in the bathroom after her first fight. She got all beat up and she was in the bathroom throwing up blood. And the kid was it was a restaurant. The kid was at the door, knocking at the door. Matter of fact, me and Jose in that scene together. We're sitting at the table eating. The kid's knocking at the door. Mom, come out. And then she doesn't come out the bathroom because she's in there sick. The kid leaves and she comes out looking for the kid. We shot that over in Patterson, New Jersey. And it's funny because she comes out and says, "Has anybody seen my baby? Anybody seen my baby?" And we're all looking around like, no. She walks out the restaurant and walked down the street looking for a kid. And she walked past the set to just people watching, and people didn't even recognize her. "Have you seen my baby? Have you seen my baby?" She had people, pedestrians, looking for this little kid. She stayed in character. It was really crazy.
Did they get it on film?
Yeah, they filmed the whole thing. They did because they don't cut because they know she does that. So they
Oh.
don't cut.
Oh, so
A
the
lot of
girl
her stuff is just straight, off the cuff.
on the go. Oh, she came a long way since Flintstones back in what, 93, 94?
Oh my God, I can't believe you took it back there.
Remember,
did
she
all
was a crackhead in what was that?
That Spike Lee film, I forgot.
Her and what's his name?
Was it Sugar Hill?
No, what Sugar Hill it was
Not Mystic Pizza, right? Or something pizza, delivery pizza.
it was the one where Jungle Fever. Wasn't that Jungle Fever?
I didn't see Jungle Fever.
Because his brother was Wesley Snipes.
Yeah.
Wesley Snipes had himself together, and his older brother was the crackhead, which was
Sam Jackson.
Sam Jackson. And Sam Jackson and Halle Berry were crackheads together, fighting over the crack in a crack house.
Mm.
That makeup job was spectacular because nobody knew underneath all that makeup was Halle Berry.
Yeah, she's very method.
Yes, yeah, she gets into it and she stays in character.
Cat.
She stays in character. I just posted on our Instagram page. Follow us on Instagram, onewayandnowayout.tv. Everything about the film projects, you can see it there. Follow us there, whatever.
What's it called?
It's all one word.
Yes, one word. One way in, no way out.tv.
One way in, one way
Oh, I
out.
see it.
No, one way in, no way out.
One way in, no way out .tv.
Yes.
That's the Instagram name?
Yeah.
All right, good.
Everything about the film projects, I always post there.
Malcolm, I also have the link to the first episode. If it's still on YouTube, right?
Yeah.
You want me to post that?
Do you have the right one? Do you have
I believe it's the
Here, let me send it to you now.
Okay.
Do you have the one from the screening or the original?
it's the original.
Here, let me see you one from the screening and then
Okay.
post it. Yeah.
Oh, yo, so your premiere was only this past December.
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh,
December 17th.
Man, all right.
Yeah, we're right in the lane right now. We're
Yeah,
putting in work.
that's too bad, man. It's fresh, and the film festival was a month later.
I sent you an invite, Malcolm, but I was like, yeah, I don't know. I know you was busy, but I don't know. We'll get you in the next one.
He may not need it. I mean, like if he's already doing well with the episodics, just keep doing it because you could probably finish it within a year.
I hope to have all 6 episodes done by the end of July. That's not realistic. By the end of summer anyway.
Well, it's not impossible. It's really just what are you lacking? Is it a matter of funds or just
Funds, basically funds. That way we can hit it every weekend. That's the
Okay.
problem,
So-
And I'm a real stickler about things like locations.
Oh, yeah.
You know, I'm a true, if I don't have the right location, I'm not gonna do it. A friend of mine just said, he had a decent little story. They did a police precinct and they did it in this guy's house. You can see the kitchen in the back room, you know, the kids' pictures on the wall. If you don't have the right location, don't do it or change it, you know, don't.
Modify, yeah.
Yeah, don't do a boat scene in somebody's basement and you stand there, you rock back and forth like it's supposed to be a boat. Just, and I've seen people do stuff like that.
That's adorable.
It's adorable, but to watch is horrible.
That for me would definitely work if it's a dad and a son pretending they're making a movie when we're actually the ones watching the movie of them making the movie.
Shalom,
Yes, sir.
I just text you the link.
Okay.
Or you could put it up here or send it out, however, whatever the heck.
Yeah, I'm posting it now.
Shalom, I know you did not have that hair that short a month before the festival.
No.
Yeah.
No. It was should have saw me at the premiere. Yeah, I look like a crazy man. I think it was
Look like Carlos Santana back in the 70s.
Yeah, after the pandemic, I just said screw it.
Gotta
But
get
I'm ready to shoot again, so I'm gonna have to cut it. You know.
What's that?
Oh, I didn't give a description. Let me give a description. I'm actually gonna delete that and then send it again with the description because I don't want anybody to be confused. So.
It's actually turned out to be a nice little meeting for a Wednesday night, huh?
Yeah, this
Good,
was
yes it is.
a
Yes, it
great
is.
meeting.
Good conversation, you know, and honestly, like we only started, like we've been doing this for almost 3 years, 3.5 years. We didn't document a single conversation because we just you never knew what we were gonna get. And just barely a couple weeks ago, like we said, let's record it and see what happens. And we just throw it up on YouTube now. And if people want to chime in next week, jump in on the conversation or follow up with whatever we missed from the week before, it just kind of happened. But not for nothing, no, we never know what's going to be spoken about during these mixers, and we never know who's going to show up.
So you said 3 years ago, so 2020, like right during 2020 or right before 2020?
Right before. It was in August of 2019 when I did the first mixer.
Oh, wow.
I did. It was just literally like, because most of us in the industry live and work in the Astoria area, but none of us actually shake hands or know each other. So I just threw it out there on like a filmmakers Facebook group saying, hey, I'm thinking of starting a club. Does anybody want to hang out? And next thing you know, we got a nonprofit, we did a film festival, and now we're giving money to independent filmmakers.
Very nice. Wow.
Yeah, it's
was
cool.
that Facebook group Local Zero Heroes by any chance, or was it
No,
something?
it was like New York City filmmakers.
Oh, okay. I think I'm on that page as well. Yeah.
There's one that was like 30 to 50,000 people or something. It was a ridiculous number when I posted it on there. It was a big one.
Okay. Yeah, I've been I'm on those groups like Local Zero Heroes and NYC Filmmakers, but I just use Facebook less and less like nowadays. And yeah, it's still really pivotal for those groups. Like I found jobs through those groups and met some good people through those groups, but it's a social media platform that I don't care to use. I have enough of those in my life, so I'm trying to size down.
Did everybody get the links that I put up earlier? Like if it was for the writer's room or anything like that?
How did you send them out?
I put them in the chat room. You gotta go,
Okay.
Melissa.
Let me go to the chat room and see
See you
what we
next
have.
time.
Good night, Melissa.
Good
See you
night.
Good night.
Yeah, I posted a couple things in the chat, but I'll go back and grab them. I need if you guys can, we have a workshop for Alexander Technique, doing a online workshop until we get an official space. But actually, I didn't get to tell most of you guys today because I spoke about it last week. The AFC is with the Queens Chamber of Commerce. We're members, and we applied for a bit of an incubator space in Long Island City. So we may, if we get selected, especially as a startup, where we could actually go in and utilize the space for rehearsals, for recordings, voiceover work, the whole 9 yards, right there in Long Island City. And that would be huge if we could actually have something of a little bit of a clubhouse.
Yeah, that'd be cool.
It's on its way. But if you guys can, I just need help with one little thing. This link, we're sharing it like crazy because we're doing the workshop. If you could just share it with anybody you may know that may benefit from it or on social media. We're doing a workshop for 6 weeks, 18 hours. That's basically going to be our primary focus in the early stages of fundraising. We're going to be doing the podcast plays of all the scripts to use that as a tool to raise money for everything. Just a new form of entertainment.
Well, I'm on set 3 or 4 times a week. So where's this link? I'll share with believe me, I'll get people on here. Which one is it?
Yeah, I'll put it on my story.
Whatever helps, because it's not like, it's not frustrating. It's just like, what the hell am I doing wrong? Like even with the bar crawl, it was kind of weird because upstate we had 24 people show up to the exact same event, and then we do it twice in Queens, and barely anybody really came. No offense, Shalom, because I know you came.
I'll get it around. Which link is it? I'm looking for it now. Which one is it?
Oh, in the chat, we have the Gary Ramsey. He's an author and a cancer survivor. He worked with comedian Colin Quinn when he was doing his Netflix special directed by Jerry Seinfeld. I trained personally with Gary Ramsey when I attended the neighborhood playhouse. I could vouch for his teachings. It stuck with me ever since. It was very beneficial for me, and I know it'll be beneficial for everybody who gets involved.
What I'm saying is I'm trying to find it. Which one is it?
Oh, do you see the chat?
I'm going through the chats now.
Well, I reposted it. I got the workshop down at the bottom.
Okay, let me go down here.
I got.
Okay,
Oh.
I see it right there. All right. So what I'm going to do.
And I got the writers' room for all of us.
Studio Filmmakers Club to everyone. Yeah.
There you go.
Flipcars.com.
Yeah, that's our master host for everything we do in the AFC. All of our events, all of our workshops, all of our bookkeeping, all donations, everything, the whole 9 yards goes right through Flipcars. And that's about it so far.
So that's the link I need, right?
Yeah.
Okay, gotcha.
And the second one I'm typing in is ours. That's the writers' room where we work one-on-one with one another. Writers' room. There you go.
Okay, yeah. All right. I just finished another screenplay, as a matter of fact.
We're just literally going to take it one scene at a time, and just have it be very similar to an open conversation like this, but a lot more structured, because we're going to just read the scene and provide you with the feedback you need just to help you get ready for production.
I'm figuring out how to post links on my story. I'm not so savvy on Instagram, but I do know there's a way.
How long do you want to stay on the back end in filmmaking?
I mean, that
we got to get you in the front of the line, bro. You got to know this stuff.
right. Yeah. Actually, that's a good point. My technical ability is is due to how like stubborn I am. So I will figure it out. I just need to I just need to figure it. I just need a second to figure it out.
Oh, hey, Mario, I forgot. Could you shoot me an email? A guy I know I went to college with, he said he's looking for an animator, but he wanted to see some samples of your work. I told him specifically you did stop motion animation, but I'm not sure if he's looking for a cartoonist or CGI. So I'm like, all right, I'll see what I could do.
For sure, I'm going to email you right now. Hopefully it's for stop motion animation because yeah, it's true. Many they want hand drawn animation or 3D animation, but hopefully stop motion animation works for him.
Holy crap. God bless you and your patience, kid, because like, wow, stop motion.
Yeah.
Yeah, years of work. But it's fun, it's fun.
Remy, I wanted to talk to you about Gary's short, The Last Kiss. Because I know you told me that you enjoyed that very much. I wanted to tell you about a full length that he wrote called Lurid. It's kind of has like the same vibe, different story, but like that gothic, almost like yeah, you know, I love the hell out of it. So if you want, I can send that to you too.
Yeah, feel free to. And what I did like the script for the short, but at the same time, I feel like it would have worked much better as a short story rather than a short film. Not to say that like if you're making a short film, it has to be, you know, it has to have a lot more dialogue. But I felt like with the way that he wrote it, it was very descriptive on the scene and atmosphere. And there were only maybe, you know, like 2 or 3 lines of dialogue, which is fine if you wanted to be a largely not dialogue heavy short. But the way that he wrote it, I kind of got the sense of, you know, this is a short story that's trying to kind of squeeze into the confines of a short film script, not a short film script that actually would come across as a kind of engaging short film. So when I read, as much as I love the story of it, that was the immediate thing that kind of jumped out to my mind. Of, you know, I think that there are some things where I've read sparingly in the past where like, oh, this definitely reads as a really good short film, or this reads as a really good film. With that script, I got the sense of this reads as a really good short because of how descriptive the world is. You know, so that was just my 2 cents. Again, not to say that like a short film script has to have X lines of dialogue, but at the same time, like it didn't really cross that bridge for me personally when I read it. But it was still like really well written, but just not for that kind of, I didn't feel like it was good for that genre, or like good for the.
I take that as a compliment. I really do. I mean,
Yeah,
because
no,
the ability to tell a story in a literal way is merely like 2 steps removed from a screenplay.
Yeah.
To me, yeah. So I mean, it was very stylized and stuff. It was almost like an exercise. But I mean, as long as you got the point, the way it was, there was not a lot of dialogue necessary, at least to me. But if you want a lot of dialogue, I mean, I've written other things that have a lot of dialogue. But
oh, sure.
Dialogue is important for a drama. I'll hand you that much. Yeah.
Oh, sure. And like trust here, I wasn't trying to make that as a dig as the writing was bad. I just like when I read it, I got the sense of this was much more atmospheric. And when I think of atmospheric, I think of generally a short film, like a short story script.
It was
so
it was heavy on the description of the action, very heavy.
Yeah.
You know, so, but I guess I was just getting off on that in that particular thing. But
yeah, no, but I mean, it generally it shows your strength as a writer in general because it was a very there's the concept of world building. And I could
Oh, right,
definitely
right.
see the world that you were trying to create. So that does certainly, that is very reflective of the skill it takes to actually create an interesting story, which you did. So
Yeah, something like that wouldn't go over on a table read because the
Yeah,
person
exactly.
talking the action would be talking the most.
Yeah.
And yeah. I see. I agree. But like one of many, you just keep moving on and keep writing, trying to get better at what you do.
Yeah,
You
oh,
know,
of course.
and really rest on laurels and everything.
Yeah.
I loved Katie as well, Gary. Katie was really good. And the ending was that bastard, like he died. Just, no, he just said, screw it. I'm dying. I'm not copping to anything. It was sick. But it was very
There's a little, the obsession with some morbid things. Me and you, we share that kind of thing. A little bit.
Gary, I just realized what Gary you are. Oh my goodness.
You're the filmmaker.
Shalom, this is Gary, that night.
At the karaoke.
Yeah, at the karaoke, yeah.
Yeah. After I bombed on stage, yeah.
I was really hammered that night. I've since saw that way my evil ways and have put away drinking forever, so that I focus on my art.
Did you guys go to?
Sometimes because I keep inviting. We have these events every now and then, and there's alcohol is ever present. And I know you're on the wagon, but
No, I don't mind. I encourage other people to drink. In fact, I buy people drinks now instead of drink myself.
I'll remember that next time.
Very altruistic.
No, don't remember that. Don't
sobriety.
But I had a hell of a time that night.
Yeah, we got to do that again.
We do. And then we hung out until all the way in the morning. We went and got pancakes right afterwards.
Oh, you guys got pancakes?
Yeah, after we dropped you off, we went to a diner on Queens Boulevard, and we were half dead by then, but we were hungry as hell. That was a hell of a night.
The one in Elmhurst?
Close to not Elmhurst.
Georgia Pete's?
Sunnyside.
Oh, okay, that's a nice one. Yeah. That's right that's like 46th Street. Yeah.
I actually used to work right across the street at the medical center.
That stretch of Queens Boulevard is very nostalgic. Like you could recreate a 50s or a 60s theme over there. Not very hard either to recreate it. It's just really perfect for that.
Yeah.
But then as it turns the corner and goes past the cemetery, it's kind of bland.
I bet. Okay.
Everybody good?
Oh, you're in trouble.
Yeah.
You calling me?
Yeah, you're in trouble.
Oh no.
Hey, get a motel.
It's not that kind of Zoom call.
I thought you were done.
No, you part of the family.
Hi.
Nobody remembers your tell, right?
She's part of the family.
Get a motel. See where. What do you think this is?
Why are the lights so dim?
Yeah, really.
It's the ambiance. It's beautiful. Now I got the lo-fi going. I'm gonna send you guys these videos. It's great for like getting me in like the Zen mode when I'm writing. I sent it's these like 3-hour-long videos of lo-fi music. Like it really, I don't know, it just puts me in the mood. It's awesome.
Oh,
I'll send it to you guys, probably.
Okay, since we're talking writing, what's everyone's process?
Oh,
Yeah, I'm gonna step out of this one. Call me when you need special effects or practical effects.
Oh God.
Project management.
what's
Yeah.
practical? What do you mean? What's practicality effects?
There's
What?
nothing practical going on in this Zoom meeting.
I know, that's why I'm stepping out. Yes.
We got some time, but now Molly's in the works. Fireland, we're starting to rehearse for, and oh God, what was the other one? Molly, Fireland, and oh,
Mm.
I don't remember what the second movie was. It's all a blur.
Red Syndrome.
Something. I don't know.
Yeah, Red Syndrome.
Bullet Train.
Red Syndrome, damn, I don't got the budget. Red Syndrome would cost at least $1 million.
You have a movie called what?
Red Syndrome,
Oh, that $1 million? Come
that
on.
would cost $1 million. It's a zombie movie for a big chunk of it,
Mhm.
you know. So it's gonna be like some crazy bloody action in there. It all takes place in one location, this giant penthouse, high rise. But like the action scenes, the gore scenes, it's gonna like it'll easily cost $1 million.
Okay. All right.
If I could do it for less, I would, but I'm trying to be realistic.
But I'm sorry. Malcolm, you mentioned you asked about a question like, what is the writing process?
Yeah, when you're going to write, anybody do anything unique? Anybody just for future references?
You start with
I
a
haven't
log
written
line.
in a
At least I
while.
do. Start with a log line. Yeah.
Shalom, I
Okay.
know starts with the idea, but more so he anchors to the title.
The title is like once I come up with the title, it gives a vision of how the whole project. It shapes the whole project once I come up with the title.
Mhm.
You know, I don't know if it's the most efficient way to approach it, but that usually helps give me a handle on what I want out of the story.
True.
A heck of a good
I
story.
haven't got, yeah, I don't think I haven't gotten a true process yet, but something I do enjoy is like I'll hear a phrase or something, or just something that stands out, and I'll write a whole story around that, or
So
center
trigger a
it.
concept.
Yeah, and sometimes it'll be I want the sentence. Maybe it's a sentence in a dialogue, something this guy said to me, and I was like, I gotta put this or somewhere. He said, pain is the only thing that reminds me that I'm alive, of who I am. Pain is the only thing that reminds me of who I am. And I'm like, dang, that's so dynamic. I might put it at the end of the film. So write and then try to set it up where the film ends on that sentence. Why not? It's a good genre.
Sounds like a comedy.
That's interesting. That's interesting, though.
Mhm.
I don't know if I'd put it at the end, but try to write a story where I can fit that in somewhere
Of course.
in a significant way.
Mhm.
Huh. I like that idea. I might try that to see what happens.
Yeah, it's a fun activity for your brain. I tell you what, because now you have to make sure it makes sense, right? Like the
Now,
challenge.
here's the question.
Absolutely.
Do you find the phrase randomly, or do you come up with the phrase, or is it where's the phrase come from?
All of the above, where I draw a lot from life experiences, my patients, my friends, sometimes even music. I don't know if you guys ever wrote to me, or I also paint. So like, you can express things through music, Yeah.
Music tends to, I love music, but when I'm writing, music gets in the way. It influences what I'm writing, and I don't want that.
Yes.
Because I'm writing what is playing. That's somebody else's thing. I do two things. I tried, I understand why they, in the movies, the writers always isolate. That's real important. I don't want nothing. I don't want anything around me alive. I don't want a radio. I don't want a television. I don't want a picture on the wall. I don't want a plant. I want plain, flat walls with no windows. You can put me in a box, close the door.
Yeah.
The reason being, everything that comes up on that piece of paper or on that laptop comes out of my head. Because there's nothing I can't,
Nothing to feed off of.
Oh, the beautiful sunset, yada, 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 yada. Now the sunset's got to come out of here.
Yeah.
And it connects it, it pulls other stuff out.
The reason I mentioned music is I remember the gentleman stating that sometimes you'll hear a song and for whatever reason, it gives you some kind of action. It builds a scene in your head. And I'm sure you guys are also thinking in composition, like what music track can I put to this script? But that's besides the point. But he said like he'll play that track over and over so that he stays in the scene. And I thought that was interesting too. So I can't really say I have a style, but I definitely draw a lot of inspiration from somewhere. Depends on the story I'm writing, I guess.
I know Gary's son, you mind if I talk about Gavin, Gary?
Oh, yeah, sure, go ahead.
Yeah, because he does music, and we was actually speaking about that earlier when we were hanging out. It's a very similar process because you know you got to put everything together, and when it's like you have your chords here and you have your all of these little notes here, but it's like when everything comes together, it makes this one big project. It's very similar. So it's whatever inspires you. I actually think music is the most difficult art form to master. Because just I don't know, not everything. It's really hard to make something that just strikes a chord in someone's mind and actually makes them involuntarily move. But it's all connected. Like any form of art, it's similar. So I think if you could do one, you could do another.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
I might be late to this, but Phil, do you write as well?
Yeah.
Oh, wonderful. What is your, I'm very much curious. What is yours, Zen?
My bro, as most of you already know, I'm an actor. So before getting into writing, like I explored multiple techniques, multiple scripts. I never said no to a project before. Yeah, if you've ever seen my original website, it's stupid long. Like it's like it looks impossible. I was doing something every on the average every month, every 3 weeks, every sometimes 2.5 weeks. I was in it, and
Cranking it out, yeah.
I got burnt out. But there was something that you said that I related to because usually when I just hear music, because I cannot always remember the lyrics. Sometimes my imagination just goes off in this direction, saying, if a movie just starts to get created in my head because of the inspiration of that sound, the movie doesn't exist. And then all of a sudden I see the full thing like, wow, this is, I don't think about the actor. I just think about something kind of entertaining where I kind of just play my own head movies. But I did really start getting into writing. It never came easy, but I did actually start just writing a bunch of titles, and I just listed nothing but titles. Just the idea of making a movie. What's a cool title? This. How about this? And I wrote like 40 different things. Just to kind of like, and I know it's stupid. That's what I mean. It's stupid long.
That's stupid. I do the same thing.
But something that actually happened to me most recently, because when you're writing it, for me especially, you have to be in this creative flow, and it all stems from creativity, and you got to kind of be like a bit in a freelance, free, stressless, zero pressure, for me anyway, environment. I've been listening to this book, and I listened to it twice, just to kind of make sure that it for the most part, it kind of sunk in. But it's actually called The Art of Impossible by Stephen Kotler. And he really does talk about sort of like the science of creativity, of flow, and the dynamics of structured nature versus nurture, like kids being born geniuses until we put them in school or whatever, and then all of a sudden we ruin them.
You kill all their creativity, yeah.
So that's what I mean, though. There's a lot of things that for me that really resonate, I guess, with my personality, my masculinity, my creativity. Like really cool stories that I inspire to see, to A, improve on my acting, and B, just sit down, relax, and just enjoy a good movie. But it comes from a lot of different spaces, like Fireland, for example. Like I'm writing that story so I could get to know my dad better, and maybe for him to see a side of me. Spoiler, and that's where Fireland came from. Just me, I
The personal story. That's
well, for me, it's like there's outside of acting and the filmmaker, the CEO, whatever, like outside of that world, I've had so much regret not being a firefighter, because that's something I know I could have done. I was a decent athlete in high school. I still am like a decently strong individual, Had I at the right time back in like 2007, had the test never got suspended, I would have signed up. I would have made the effort to try to be a part of that world because I grew up with it, and I like it. Like the second I like if I'm blindfolded, put into a random spot anywhere, and it just coincidentally happens to be a firehouse, I'll know before you even take the blindfolds off because I know the smell of every single firehouse because it's so distinct. It's a part of my brain, like I can't remove that memory.
Do you walk into a place and you're like, you track all the exits and you and like
I thanks to Zombieland, I did actually, take into account know your way out. Yeah.
Because you're definitely, you're gonna be the person. I'm like, hey, Phil, come on now. Get us out of here.
So like little things like that. And I wrote a book, 10 years ago called There Goes the Neighborhood because I went to a school called the Neighborhood Playhouse, and it just happened to be coincidentally one of the titles on that very, very, very long list that I wrote. I'm like, oh, there it is. Now I know what to write about. So that was the other thing, but that was based on a lot of true stories. And that one coincidentally also was a way of me telling my dad that I love him. But it's got like, you wouldn't know that from what's actually in the story, but that was sort of my motive. My process has got to be rooted in love with everything I write because it's got to be personal, and it's got to be full of truth. And there's so much like along the way in that process, especially thanks to this book, The Art of the Impossible, when you're not forcing anything and kind of just like you live life a little bit and then you pull things circumstantially that are happening in real life that kind of inspire you to actually contribute. Actually, that would go really good in this project, but not at this point. It has to come later. And sometimes it could take a really long time. At least it does for me. Because I'm not a writer. I never used to be.
How do you mind, can I ask a question? How do you balance writing? Because I know as a writer, yes, we're constantly drawing from our life experiences, but how do you mute your voice as the writer and so in order to facilitate like the story, like sometimes you read a story and you're like, you know what, I can tell this is personal to the writer.
I think it got to be personal.
True, but
otherwise,
how do you balance that? Where sometimes they can interject too much of themselves into the story. You know what I'm saying? And you can actually start to see their psychology. I think a little bit of what's his name?
I picked up a little bit of that in Shalom's writing, actually, not for nothing, because I'm like, the patient seems a little bit too smart. I'm like, wait a minute.
Well, thank you. I appreciate that. But Kurt Walker, I try to model him after a lot of people, a lot of men, because I try to, the resentment can get the better of a lot of people.
True.
And I think that if you don't watch your back, it can lead you down a really dark path. So it's like, I definitely experienced that, and I drew from some of my own experiences, but I knew that a lot of people go through the same thing too. So
I guess to go back to the question, as far as
sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off, man.
No, you didn't. Like I'm sure if we had different actors instead of my brain, which is equally smart in the interpretation of both characters, I could be misinterpreting what you're doing. But it's like, I don't know. These guys are both intelligent. They're having a legitimate conversation. So, but hey, if that's the story, we're going to have to go through the whole thing because I did not read the whole thing. So like, for me, like, all right, real talk, guys, I grew up with a learning disability. All right. I was in special ed English my entire life. I got exempt from second language because I had to only focus on certain things with English, I was very good at math and science, and coincidentally, or later on, I discovered I'm actually very good at composing music, but, it was never developed. I got very lucky, but, that's just part of my journey. Balance. I gotta say, for the most part, I don't have enough balance because I've written so much to the point where I know it's ready, but I get no feedback. A lot of it's just stuck in my head. When I have people read it and like address it, then all of a sudden it actually gives me like like that boost on the swing, and then I could just recreate momentum to kind of reach that level of elevation, you know. But sometimes for me personally, to find that balance, I get way too lost after too much time of not getting feedback, you know.
When
That- that's been me for the longest time, and I think that's really why I never really got to really produce anything. I've always wanted to. We didn't have the resources years ago, like the AFC, to do it, but I'm very ambitious. I like to get things done the next day, you know, and try to like say, okay, let's go.
Mhm.
And no, like the balance has been like time and just accepting time to just kind of like be more my ally and just let things develop naturally, you know, and take away the urgency, the anxiety and the rush. And again, I go back to this book because this guy Stephen Kotler was absolutely right. The Art of the Impossible. You guys got to honestly get your hands on it or listen to it on audio book because the guy's right, you know. And I guess honestly, like had I done all this stuff sooner, Fireland being the perfect example, it wouldn't be as good. It wouldn't be ready, you know, it'd be premature. So I guess honestly, balance is just accepting the fact that, you know, your movie is going to be the same 10 years from now, even if you made it today. So why not make it 9 years from now? If it's going to be exactly the same and you'll be more ready for it.
That's true.
My original, when my first novel, when it first came out, the editor I told you guys about in San Francisco, dude was really smart. He was a crook when it came to money, but as far as, you know, the whole process of creating a book, a novel, he was really sharp. And he read my original manuscript and he said, I like it a lot. But he said something that really struck a chord with me. He says, don't forget, no matter how much you enjoy writing this story, if you're going to write a novel for people, don't forget, you're not writing it for yourself, you're writing it for them. Meaning that when I'm writing for myself, stuff pours out of my head. If you read it, you'll be like, what in the hell is this? Long sentences, a bunch of psychobabble,
I thought it was
yada,
a
yada,
script
yada.
story.
What they call it, mental masturbation.
Yes, yes.
I'm just going at it. I'm having fun. But somebody else read this, they're gonna be like, what in the hell? This dude is like, I don't know. So we keep that in mind. It kind of keeps the reins pulled back, like, okay, all right. Because writers love to write. And overwriting is so easy to do. It's so easy to do. And you have to keep in mind that give your audience credit for being able to figure things out. You know, they can fill in the blanks, even to the point where even if they're not filling in the blank the way you want them to, they're filling in a blank that works for them. And the story still works. So I don't have to describe the color of his shoes, the way his hand hit the doorknob, he turned and it clicked 3 times and yada, 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 yada. Stephen King's a master of that. He'll go right down the middle of the lane and all of a sudden he'll take the exit. He'll go miles and miles and miles to the left and right. Like, what is this shit? But
he ties it back to the story.
The unique thing about him is he finds a way to bring it back in. Not everybody can do that. Because it's real easy to lose your audience with a bunch of just psychobabble.
Yeah.
Guillermo del Toro is also like that, where he's very almost to the laboriously detailed in his storytelling. Yeah.
And you have to be an excellent writer to do that and keep an audience. Because how many times have you read a book and just right in the middle of a chapter, something like, man, what in the world is this? You just put it down, you never pick it back up. I know we've all read books like that.
Was it structured? Because I find out, we tried to watch this movie over the weekend. I was talking about it with Gary earlier. This film by Catherine Bigelow. And I love Catherine Bigelow. I love her to death, but goddamn this movie. I don't know what the hell it was about. It was called Strange Days. And it was like this. The concept was interesting as hell, but the structure was like, it was just this big jumbled mess. There was no structure. It was like, I didn't know what the hell. Now, granted, I had to cut it off like halfway through because it seemed like it wasn't going anywhere, but there was a lot of stuff happening. yet nothing happening at the same time.
I
And I
watched
think that if it was better structured, you gotta have one hell of a story though.
I watched this movie the other day called Noise.
Noise?
Yeah. And it's another one of those like, wait a minute. It started out like, uh-oh, we might have something here, but it was real slow. And then it just kind of fell apart.
I hate
I think a lot of times like that is either was just never a good story in the first place,
Right.
or somebody messed it up. Like, I can fix it. I can fix it. They just start throwing stuff on the wall to see what sticks. They're kind of
Well, I
committed.
mean, goddamn, you can make a story. Look at Cocaine Bear. You can make you can
I
literally make
did.
a story
I
out of
did.
anything.
I
But it's how
did.
you write it.
Now,
It's how you
is that a
structure
real
it.
story, or has that just been sort of like a thing?
It's a real
It's
story.
based on
That is a real story this whole time?
it's based on something that actually happened. A guy parachuted in Kentucky out of a plane with a bunch of cocaine in his backpack. He got killed, and the parachute didn't work. It killed him, and the bear actually ate the cocaine. But supposedly the bear went crazy, but the cocaine killed him. And Cocaine Bear, they took it to a whole oh my God.
We have
It's,
to watch it.
it's,
It got Malcolm's approval. We gotta watch it.
it's one of those movies where you can tell that they said, we got a fucking mess here. So let's just go all balls to the wall. We don't even care. Because it's just so ridiculous. It's so ridiculous.
Those be some of the best movies, but it's like even with that, it's like there's still a structure too. Like you could write some crazy shit, but if you structure it well enough, you'll buy it and people will be engaged. Like one of my favorite movies in the world is RoboCop. You know, that's some crazy shit happening in that movie. But it's like it's how they put it together. You know,
Well,
I could watch it.
Storytelling was engaging.
Mhm.
That's it. Your story has to be engaging.
Yes.
You know, whether it's the hero or the bad guy or the bad woman or whatever, has to be engaging. I love to hate this character, or I love to love this character. But it's got to be something that just grips your audience.
Anybody watch Bullet Train on like even in the theaters or on Netflix?
I watched it on Netflix.
It was I wasn't expecting much from that movie, to be honest. The cast and performances, were funny. I especially love Brian Henry Tree, from Atlanta, but it does seem like a pretty bloated movie, all over the place. They threw in just random guest celebrities just to
it seemed like they relied on that. They started to rely on that a little bit too. I liked the movie. It was a good movie, but I liked it.
Solid, yeah.
I caught it a quarter in, and I loved it from that point to the end. But from the beginning, where you could tell it was more like you said, like a celebrity guest appearance type thing, and I felt like they relied on that a little bit too much. But I still enjoyed the hell out of it, though. But I don't think it was a good film. No.
I expected a lot more. Andrew Koji is one of my favorite actors right now. I love Warrior and some of the other stuff he's been in, Peaky Blinders. But they wasted his character. He's the first guy. I'm pretty sure he's the first guy you see in the movie, and his character arc goes almost nowhere.
He was the guy with the son, right?
Yeah, he was a father of the son who
So, he did take a back seat.
Yeah, so I don't know. I was expecting a fight scene maybe from him, or more dramatic lines, but it was mostly about Brad Pitt, and he was funny. His character of just stumbling through, trying to insert therapy into every moment of his life is funny. But yeah.
But that's a Brad Pitt thing. He has that boyish charm that the audience likes. So majority of his movies, they use that, they play on that to make it a success. The one movie that I saw that he did, I was telling you about, Killing Him Softly.
Yes.
Heard of that. I haven't seen that.
He played a solid character. He played a solid character. And he played a solid character, and he wasn't the oh, he's so cute, Brad Pitt, or I love it when he does that. He wasn't none of that in there. Bullet Train was full of it. Almost all his movies lately to date, even the thing with he won the Academy for.
Benjamin Button.
Not
Steve
mention, no. Just a couple years ago. About the Charles Manson, they did a twist on the Charles Manson thing.
Oh, the Quentin Tarantino movie. Once Upon a Time. in
Tarantino
Hollywood.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Once Upon a Time in Hollywood.
He still had his boyish charm in that movie.
Yeah,
You know what I mean?
Yeah, involved with Charles.
Yeah, now that you mention it, even in like Inglorious Bastards and some of the rough, like more violent movies he's been in, he's kind of like, in Inglorious Bastards, he's kind of like the leader of the pack. He seems like he knows what he's doing, but then you see that scene in France where he's at the dinner party trying to stumble through.
Right, exactly. So they play on that. That's his thing. That's Hollywood. When they sign Brad Pitt to a movie, they're looking for him to do that.
Yeah. You see,
Let's see that Brad Pitt everybody likes.
Yeah, that's the downside of having a character trope, right? Like being pigeonholed into being a Brad Pitt. Like every Tom Hanks, every Tom Cruise movie, I expect this man to be running for his life. If I don't see it, it's not a Tom Cruise movie. You know what I'm saying?
Exactly.
Exactly.
He always talks like he's out of breath too. It's like, we have to find the bomb. It's like every moment is either very comedic. He is a comedic actor. Like what's that movie he did with Cuba Gooding Jr. Like Show Me the Money. That
Show Me the
movie.
Money, yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, like
Jerry Maguire.
Jerry Maguire, yeah, like he's a good comedic actor, but he's like, just very worried stoic, So I mean typecasting, I guess some people rely on it. It's just to each their own.
It's how you get paid. Look at Denzel Washington. Denzel, what's the thing? It just did part 2. The Equalizer.
Oh, Equalizer. Yeah, they're doing.
Oh,
you could take that character, Equalizer character, and go back with Denzel. And all of his action movies, he's the same guy.
Yeah.
He's that dude.
But seriously, he's the same guy. A man of few words, kicks a lot of ass. Nobody expects it from him. You know.
Man Apart.
Man Apart.
Book of Eli.
Killed it in Book of Eli.
Book of Eli was the shit.
He's a hell of a good actor, but he has a thing.
I like the movies any day. Really and truly.
Remember the Titans?
Remember? Yes, I do.
I never saw it.
It was
Stop.
I saw that a while ago.
Inspirational, everything.
Oh,
You
he's
know
outstanding.
what actor broke out from his cast? What's his name?
Was it Michael B. Jordan? No, right?
No, Jim Carrey, man. Jim Carrey. So
Jim
remember,
Carrey's really talented. He's something else.
have you guys ever seen Jim Carrey in serious roles?
Yeah, he's good.
Yeah, I like the Truman Show.
That too. Really and truly, he's
like what's the she's trying to forget somebody.
Spotless Mind.
Yeah.
Eternal Sunshine.
Yeah, Eternal Sunshine.
Kind of Spotless Mind. Yeah. Yeah. He's a great actor.
He actually is. I just haven't seen too many of his dramatic stuff, but the ones I saw him in, I do like.
Yeah.
He's a real actor.
Yeah.
Yes.
What I don't know if you guys spoke on this, but what are your thoughts on how do you say the people of Hollywood right now are censoring themselves. Like everyone is pretty much curtailing to the Asian audience. And so you're seeing film is now being, like I said, curtailed into their culture, what's acceptable, and this censorship.
There's a lot of things you can't talk about in Hollywood if it offends, because they just have such a huge market over there.
As in they're trying to like China trying to censor a lot of.
Yeah, there was a big thing with Marvel that they didn't want to they cut a lot of content on their films because they didn't appreciate it over there. So how do you guys feel about like censoring yourselves artistically?
Well, I mean, you do have to it does bleed into know your audience, but where's the line of driving creativity or
Yeah, as an
There
artist,
is
you can't
no-
censor yourself.
Hey.
It's the studios that are making these decisions. I'm sure the artists are putting their, very best
Snyder
into
being
these
one.
scripts and every shot. Whenever Marvel hires like, not like a non-big budget, like an indie director. Who was the one who directed Eternals? She's like a great independent filmmaker, but she was like not pretty well known to like the mainstream audience.
Mhm.
And I don't know if she like fell into that censorship thing, but I can see care taken into every single shot. The screenplay was a mess. It's another bloated, kind of like, how many celebrities can we pack into this movie? But it was a beautiful film, and some of the lines, like individual lines and character relationships, like Angelina Jolie's like relationship with the Gilgamesh character was beautiful.
Yeah.
It's like she was pretty much going through like, what's it called when you get older and you forget things,
Dementia?
Now,
yeah, she was pretty much going through dementia. And yeah, that was a subplot. So it was like that kind of thing. So you can't imagine, if an artist knew going in that they had to censor what they wanted, I believe they wouldn't do it.
Mhm.
I mean, maybe there's other reasons they would, for money usually, and maybe just for acclaim to do other things. But as an artist, you can't take China, or like another country into thought when writing this kind of thing. If you have too many barriers, I don't write very often. I used to when I was like in high school and a little bit through college. But if I considered too many opinions while writing, it was impossible to write. So
yeah,
That's what's going on right now with these. I don't know if you guys are familiar with the Zack Snyder, the DCE universe, and those kind of things. Yeah, it's a mess. The legalities that you have to take into consideration.
yeah.
he's a great example because his films, like, I don't know if you saw the director's cut. His director's cuts are like ridiculous. This is the problem with students. That's why I'm glad I met you guys, because everything's independent. And I'm to the point where I don't even want to deal with Hollywood anymore, because I've seen what it's become. It's like, why do something if it's not really what you want to do? And one thing about Snyder, like I said, his films aren't perfect, but the level of interference that came from the producers and it's like, I hated the theatrical releases of Batman versus Superman and the Justice League. But when you watch his cut of the films, I consider them, they're some of the best films I've ever seen as far as the comic book genre. But they're not perfect. That's not to say they're perfect, but they're freaking good. And that comes from him being unrestrained and just knowing what he wants and just trusting that and going forward with it, rather than listening to this person, this executive over here, this executive over there. That really does poison.
Yeah, he's interesting because you gotta respect him. Like no matter how you view his like films or whatever, he's another person who puts care into every shot. He's literally the cameraman for a lot of the shots he does. Like he built a special rig with the red camera for the zombie movie that he put on Netflix.
Army of the Dead.
Yeah. And people say,
Cool.
or were you in that, Malcolm?
I was a zombie in that.
Really?
Really?
Beginning in the casino. Sandra was there. I tackled Sandra. She was on the slot machine. I run up a zombie.
I gotta watch that now tonight and see.
I have a feeling you're in a lot of movies.
We got
cut.
Oh, you got damn.
And Sandra, she was mad. She was pissed. She was pissed.
Yeah.
I know y'all have fun though, right?
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
So Phil asked earlier, what is because I said, call me when you need practical effects. Phil, that's what I would do. If you need a zombie, I can make you a zombie. If you need whatever practical effect, yeah, let's try.
She's actually really great.
We're doing On the
it's
15th, we're
makeup.
doing a shootout, and I
Make-
want the guy to get, I want the squib packs where the blood jumps out your shirt,
Mhm.
Mhm.
and I'm looking to use those.
The packets, the blood
Squib,
packets.
they call squibs, yeah.
Mhm.
Oh, square packs. Mm, yes.
Yeah, when you shoot someone and the blood jumps out, yeah.
I'm gonna let you know I don't know terminology. I'm very
Okay.
yeah, but that's cool. Squid.
Yeah.
That's what YouTube is for, or just, you know,
They use it with a remote.
Mhm.
Yeah.
you
But
know,
the
like-
blood, you know what's hard to get is the blood.
Mhm.
Because they for a long time they used like corn syrup. And they just put
Actually,
glucose.
I did a modeling gig, or actually it wasn't even a modeling gig. It was just sort of like a spur of the moment thing where we use red color fooding dye for like cookies and stuff. But we would put it in like we would put it in a clear hair gel, and then all of a sudden you're good.
Yeah, that's all you need, really.
I got a whole bottle of fake blood
Yeah.
here.
Yeah. You already know. You already know. That's that's the same thing I use. I watered it. I used clear hair gel, and I watered it down to get the right consistency. But it's much more preferable than corn syrup because it's, you know, it doesn't stick everywhere. You can just wipe it off. But yeah, that's a hell of a recipe.
Oh, and it washed right out. Like it's like it wasn't even there.
Yeah.
I made a mistake. I wore a white shirt that day, but that's all right. It was a spur of the moment thing. I wasn't prepared. It's just like, what are we doing? You're gonna be attacked by women crawling out of a swamp. All right, what do I do? Just stand there. They threw blood all over me.
Wow,
That sounds
like
fun. Yeah, that's why I love horror movies. Because, you know, it's fun to shoot.
I'm terrified still. Like some horror movies, I can't sit down. It's like they're too. Ever since I was a kid, I got the wrong impression because I
Have
love
you
movies.
watched
I didn't know what
Smile
to
yet?
expect. I did not watch Smile, but I did watch Megan.
Smile and make you turn the lights in the house on.
Smile was
All
good.
right.
Smile was good.
Well, I'm really focusing on a cleanse right now and my mental health, so I got to get like 8 hours of sleep.
The last movie I saw where I had to sleep with the lights on, and this is gonna be embarrassing because I was a grown ass man when this film came out. 28 days later, but that was the film before this one. The first Paranormal Activity.
That was spooky.
Yeah. Yeah.
And they did a great job.
Yeah.
Like even with all of them, they did a great job with those scenes.
They're up to like paranormal number 6 or 7, aren't they?
But that first one was because, you know, it was like the Blair Witch. People were like, is this real or not? You know, and then, you know, it took place in a house, which we're all familiar with. So it was very easy for me to think that something would pop up right next to me. It really fucked, you know, it really messed with your head. But yeah, I slept with the night. I slept with the lights on that night.
Oh man,
I know.
Yeah, for me it was. I don't even remember the movie's name, but there was a movie about the Tooth Fairy. I think it was called The Lighthouse or something. And it was literally just about the Tooth Fairy, but the Tooth Fairy turned out to be, you know, like a demon that collected teeth and would kill you in the dark specifically. It was
that? You sure? That wasn't Darkness Falls, was it?
Darkness Falls. That's what it was.
Yeah.
That's what it was. Yeah. Darkness Falls is, oh my God. It's probably a ridiculous movie if I watched it today, but as a kid, it was, yeah.
Terrifying.
Yeah. Because you're pretty much, you know,
it was creepy. That was like a weird specter kind of. It was creepy the way they did the monster, how she moved.
Yeah. I think like her mask was made of teeth.
Yeah.
Like face was made of teeth. Yeah. If you the effects were great. I'll say that. So
if you like that, you'll probably like Kiefer Sutherland did a movie. She actually showed me this movie. I didn't really have any interest in it when it came out, but she played it. It was Kiefer Sutherland did a movie called Mirrors.
Mirrors.
And it had like the creature effects in there was it reminded you of Smile a little bit. So it was kind of like Smile and Darkness Fall mixed together. But that was
I may have watched that.
That was a real good one.
It rings a bell for some reason.
Yeah.
And a lot
Kiefer
of people,
Sutherland's a good actor.
He is.
yeah, a lot of people refer to Ghost Ship as one of the traumatizing movies, specifically that first scene on the with the
Mhm.
cheese wire.
But
That-
then it's
some-
such a nosedive. You're like, eh.
Yeah, it goes down from there, but it's like these horror movies have like an outside lore. People like talk about certain things, with each horror movie. Like the Saw franchise is the Saw franchise. It's like every scene is its own scene, is its own movie, pretty much. Blair Witch was, the first kind of not voyeur, but kind of first perspective horror movie, followed by like Paranormal Activity. So I feel like, except for maybe like The Exorcist or something like that, every horror movie has like a gimmick that it really rides on. And maybe some of the classic movies don't really rely, like I said, The Exorcist, and maybe, well, Poltergeist kind of goes on the trope of an Indian burial ground, but that's not so much it pretty much originated its own trope.
Yeah.
I don't think like a lot of movies even do that anymore.
Well, once you do something, you can't be the first anymore. So it's kind of loses its impact just for that reason alone. But the genre I love that genre. Did anyone see let's just say the Supernatural? So because it's like everybody, I think, whether they're, you could be an atheist, but it's like you're still afraid of the unknown.
Yeah, that's what a lot of these movies play on. Just there's a lot of things you can be surprised by. It's oh my God, Nope. All of Jordan Peele's movies are great, but Nope was like my least favorite, but it was the most interesting of his, because it was specifically about that idea of the unknown. It's just, there's a mystery in a very secluded part of town, a very basic concept, but the more you learn about it, the more you maybe don't want to know about it. the more it kind of like starts to sound familiar to scary ideas in filmmaking, animal handling, just the idea of people peering into your life. It's just, you kind of like are backing away from certain ideas the more you learn about it. So that was interesting.
So it deals more like that's the psychological, because I like slasher
Psychological horror. Yeah.
It's slasher films are cool, but I like it when it messes with when a movie messes with your mind.
Yeah, like your
I
perspective.
think that's creepier to me. So I'll probably check that out. I did like he did a Candyman, which it started off really well. I didn't like the ending, but I did like how their version, the twist they put on it.
Are you talking about the new Candyman or the old one?
No, the new one. I know he did.
I haven't seen the new one. I actually saw the original one in another club in Astoria. I think it was, I forget the name of the club, but they did like a weekly movie night, and it must have been 2021, like October 2021, and it was amazing, man. I wasn't even like
the original, you said?
The original, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, the original, like the performance of like
Tony Todd.
Yeah, like him having bees cover his face. It was just gruesome, and the story was amazing. It was playing with the mind, like the main character's mind throughout a lot of it.
He was another like creepy like he made you afraid to close the lights, cut off the lights, and look into the mirror and say,
yeah,
oh, yeah, I still want to do it.
Right, yeah, that was I didn't even realize it was from that, but when I was a kid, that was a thing people said. And so carry on.
When I was before that, but when I was a kid, it was Bloody Mary.
Bloody Mary, yeah, that was a thing for me as well.
Yeah.
Was that a mirror thing as well, or just like in general you just don't say it?
I think it was a mirror thing. Same thing, almost the same thing. You cut off the lights.
Right.
And looking, I don't know. I don't think you had to look in the mirror because the lights were off. You can't see yourself anyway. But I think, you just look at, and then you say Bloody Mary 3 times. I won't do that either.
I just didn't expect Candyman to go into like gentrification or just like, you know,
That's when it took the dive. Kind of.
I did not expect that. It was just, I did not know it was about that, literally about that. I was just ready to see a guy like hook some people with a meat hook.
Up until when they touched on it, it was an interest because when they had the art dealership in the beginning, and that was touching up, but then they just like really went into it almost to the point where it had no connection to the original story, which if they granted, I know they was doing something different, but it was like if you're gonna do something so different, then you might as well just make your own story. That
right.
Hey, gentlemen, I got a bill out.
All right.
Okay, nice meeting you. I'll email you.
Yeah, send me an email. You guys watch the link, watch the flick, watch Shalom do his Mad Max the radio DJ thing. Let me know what you think, and let's talk going forward. See if we can't work somebody in on one side of the camera or the other.
Yeah, I'm gonna hit it too. You guys have a great day.
Yeah.
I'm actually gonna cut out too.
Yeah, I think we're heading that time.
Yeah.
Let me get your contact information if you have.
All right.
Sure.
I'll put in a chat.
Okay. Yeah, and anybody else? I've been like following all these links.
I'll send you my Instagram as well.
Okay.
All right, gentlemen, you guys have a good night, and we shall talk in the future.
Good night, everybody.
Yes,
Night,
good night.
man.
I'll see you later.
Alrighty.
Yeah, I'll stick around for Shalom's link. Wait, Shalom, do you follow me on Instagram? I put my link up.
I'm gonna let me get your link. I see it. I'm gonna copy it.
Yeah, like LX_NTN. Yeah, definitely. I'm assuming this is weekly, right? So I can like pop back in next week, Phil?
Yeah, same time, same place, same link.
Okay, nice.
All right, I see your Instagram. I'm gonna follow you. I'm just gonna put my email in the chat right now, so you could get at me. Yeah.
Okay.
All right.
Appreciated.
No problem.
Right. Yeah, I'm gonna turn in now. It's been a long day. But yeah, it was great seeing you guys. Thank you for the invite. Right.
Oh, you're welcome, man. Thank you for coming by.
Yeah.
We had a great time chatting, man.
Yeah, I really did. I was not expecting to stay here for like over 2 hours, but like the conversation really flowed. So
Like I said, you never know what's gonna happen.
exactly. All right, good night, guys.
Good night.
Take care, Alex. See you soon. Well, it's getting kind of late. Does anybody have any, closing remarks or statements or anything like that? Nothing?
I just have fun. We have fun. Like I said, I don't know if we meant to go this long, but time flies when you're having fun.
Definitely does. I'm pretty sure I made all the announcements I had to. Keeping everybody in the loop as best I can.
So you know what? Yeah, we're gonna get some dinner.
Yes.
Yeah.
Get received as well. But yeah, I'm not sure what I can contribute, but I definitely do look forward to. I like everything that you guys are representing, and I look forward to joining the fold, really and truly, if you would allow.
And the next event, you're gonna post is posted on the page, or that's just yet to be determined.
Events like for our weekly mixers or just like the next get together?
Yeah, next get together.
Well, but once we start seeing leaves on the trees, we're gonna start having some mixers in person again. By June, I'll know for certain if we got the incubator space. So if we do, we'll have like an opening ceremony, like a ribbon cutting ceremony through the Chamber of Commerce, and I'll get the entire club there. And I'll make sure I get food and stuff. And we are actually invited to the Culture Lab throughout the summer for a independent movie night, as well as like a public movie night on Thursday nights in Long Island City. So some things are like, in motion. But once they become solidified, of course, like you'll be kept in the loop. I'll make sure there's an event either posted on the Facebook group or a public event on our website. Right now, we're just showcasing, sorry, not showcasing. We're promoting the workshops and the writer's room. And we're, we're in the early stages.
Mhm. Sounds great.
Awesome.
Yeah, it does.
Yeah, we'll be there.
It's getting there. So yeah, I don't know. Consistency is key, but of course, Wednesday night, reliable mixer will be here.
Awesome.
Oh, she wants to say goodnight. Ugh.
Oh, good
Right,
night.
Snow.
Wait, what's your dog's? What's her name? Snow.
So,
Aw, Snow. That's beautiful. A Labrador,
she's actually golden.
golden retriever. Wow.
Yeah, but she's English cream. So stop eating the napkin, please. She was a lot lighter than her brothers and sisters. So her mom was a little bit lighter, but her dad was like golden. Like he was a golden.
Oh wow. Wow, she's a beautiful, beaut.
Thank
Yeah.
you. Yeah, it's a funny thing about these dogs. They're very, they're very cool, no doubt. These were just kind of bred in Scotland a couple hundred years ago for hunting birds, and they
Yeah,
just
they were initially hunting dogs. Yeah.
they just became more or less just like not their own breed, but just an off
Mhm.
color of the exact same breed. It's the exact
Yeah.
same DNA with just different color hair.
Yeah. Does it throw you for a loop how sentient or how connected to you she is, where you're able to almost feel like there's humanistic traits?
She's got a personality, and definitely we're picking up on each other's cues and what we both want.
Mhm.
And no, she's very obedient, well behaved. She is very intelligent, and
Yeah. Mhm.
she's a bit of a mush. She's teething right now, so she's being a little brat. So like, it could definitely have that humanistic element to it, where she knows what she's doing, but she just can't help herself, and she's like
Yeah.
pushing her buttons.
Uh,
But she does. She loves to play. She's
Aw.
she's a good girl.
yeah, keeps you company, I'm sure.
Oh, no doubt. Yeah, it
Mhm.
get me out of the house, keep me company, keep me sane. I got to talk to somebody. Might as well talk to a dog.
That's true. It's funny. Yeah, gentlemen, it was a pleasure officially like seeing you guys again, and yeah.
Oh yeah. So we'll see you hopefully next week.
Yes, likewise. Yeah. Alrighty.
Good night, guys.
Let's call it. Have a good night, everybody. Have a great week, and hope to see you on Sunday in the writers' room.
I'll be there, man.
Mhm.
We'll be.
All right. See you guys then. Till next time. Ciao.
Alright.
Good night.
Ciao, baby.
Ciao.